Good morning, guys. Today I am going to talk you chapter number 8, which is motion, which is in chapter 8, which is motion in standard 9th. Okay, so here we have to learn about the various concepts because this chapter is so IMP for your another upcoming chapters, because the chapter 8 having related phenomena in chapter number 9, 10 and 11 as well as. Okay, in chapter number 9, 10, 11 you will require some basic understanding of this chapter number 8. So the chapter number 8 is motion. So in this chapter, the chapter is truly divided into the three portions. The first portion is the understanding portion. The second portion is some terminology that you have to understand, and the third portion which simply related to the basic formulas. Okay, this is a totally purely formula based portion. Okay, so in the first portion you have to go through the some various terminology, means what is the rest, what is motion, what is uniform motion, what is non-uniform motion. In the second chapter you have to learn about the various terms like what is acceleration, what is velocity, what is speed, what is motion. So these all things are interrelated to each other. So it is my request to all of you, kindly focus very attentively over there, because the phenomena related to this chapter is utilized in the next upcoming chapters. Okay, so let's start with the chapters. So here first of all we have to understood some various terminology. First is called rest. So what is rest? Suppose in this lockdown period you all are lying on a bed. Okay, so you are remain at rest throughout the day. Okay, so it is the position, or it is a state of position at which the particle does not move, or the particle does not change its position. Okay, so in this lockdown period, on lying on the bed throughout the day, you are not going to change your position with respect to any point, with respect to any time. So this position is called rest position. So we can say that the object or the matter, it is in the rest. Fine, so the definition is given over here. So a body is said to be a rest, okay, when its position does not change with respect to time or with respect to point. Suppose a body is not going to change their position with respect to time, so that is called the body is in rest. Clear? Now what is the motion? So we all know that the motion is what? When a body having something that continuously changing its position. Suppose you are going to throw a tennis ball from one point to another point. So suppose the ball will start from here. Listen, the ball will start from here, and after 5 seconds it will lie over here. So between the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, it will continuously change its position. Continuously changing, because in the first second it will be here, in the second second it will be here, in the third second it will be here, in the fourth second it will be here, in the fifth second it will be at the last position. Means what? Suppose you are throwing a tennis ball from one point to another point, it will continuously at first second, second second, third second, fourth second, fifth second, changing their position continuously. So when a body continuously changes its position from one place to another place, so we can say that the body is in motion. Okay, so we can say that the body is in motion. So here a body is said to be in motion when the position continuously, because the word continuous having very much significance over here. Understood? So the body which continuously change its position with reference to one point to another point, we can say that the body is in motion. Clear? Now we have the three type of motion. First is what? Suppose you are walking on a straight road from A point to B point, okay, and you are continuously walking, so you are continuously change your position from one point to another point. So this kind of motion is called linear motion, because this motion is happening on a single line. Okay, so this is called linear motion. Okay, in a straight line path, suppose you are jogging or you are traveling from a particular road, so this is called a straight path. So this kind of motion is called linear motion. Suppose you are jogging in a park, the park is circular, so you are moving like this. Okay, so this is whenever you are moving in a circular path. Okay, in circular path, this motion is called circulatory motion or circular motion. Clear? Now in case of pendulum, what happens? The pendulum have the initial position So the pendulum will go here maximum, and after that the pendulum will go here maximum. See, the pendulum will start from here, go here maximum, and again come to the rest point, and again go here maximum, and again come to the rest point. Okay, so when an object having to and fro motion with respect to initial point, okay, this is the initial point na. So the pendulum having this motion and this motion, to and fro motion with respect to any initial position, this motion is called oscillatory motion. Okay, see, to and fro with respect to origin. See, this is the origin na. Okay, so the particle is moving here maximum and the here maximum. So from the origin, the maximum to motion and the maximum fro motion. Okay, this motion is called oscillatory motion. Understood? Okay. So next we have to learn about the two different quantities, which is scalar quantities and the vector quantities. So let me introduce over here some scalar quantities and vector quantities. See, what is mean by scalar? So see, the scalar quantities, which to define the scalar quantity, it will require only magnitude, and the meaning of magnitude is value. Okay, see, for example, your weight. So your weight is around 45 to 50 kg. Okay, so to define your weight, it will require the direction. For example, your weight is 45 in east direction and your weight is 45 in the west direction. So direction is not required now over here. So for those quantities, only the value means magnitude, only the magnitude is required. This kind of quantities are called scalar quantities. Understood? Okay, in the quantities, listen very carefully, the quantities which required only magnitude means value, only value to define it. So these quantities are called scalar quantities. For example, examples are weight, distance. Okay, for example, for distance, this is from Ahmedabad to Baroda is 100 km. Does it require any direction? No. Okay, so the distance, weight and volume, all these things do not require direction. So these are called scalar quantities. Understood? I will brief it about the later. Now second is vector quantities. What are the vector quantities? So the quantities which required direction and as well as magnitude. Okay, so the quantities which required direction as well as magnitude. For example, suppose you have to run from point A to point B, okay, with some kind of velocity. So you are running with the speed of 50 km per hour. Okay, so in this case the value is also required and the direction is also, because you have to run from A to B na. So you have to run in east direction. So in this case what happened? Direction east is also required and magnitude is also required. So the quantities for which direction as well as magnitude means what? Value both required, these quantities are called vector quantities. Understood? Okay, so see here, key it is a physical quantity having on magnitude but no direction, because it required only magnitude, direction is not required. Clear? Fine. Like distance and speed. Okay, now what is vector quantities? The quantities that requires both magnitude and direction, both are required. So this is called vector quantity. Understood my phenomena? You have to, so in this chapter you have to go just definition through this and learn the examples only. Clear? Now we have to understand the two phenomena, basic phenomena. One is distance and second is displacement. Okay, see, take the rough page over there, I will explain you what is distance and what is displacement. Okay, understood? See, suppose you had to go from A point to B point. Clear? A to B point and return to the middle somewhat C point. Fine. A person went from A point to B point and returned to the C point. Understood? Now the total distance between A point to B point is 100 kilometer. Understood? And the distance between C to B is 30 kilometer. Try to understand, huh? See, the total distance between point A to B is what? 100 kilometer, and the distance between C to B is 30 kilometer. Clear? Now a person A travels from A to B and return to C. So how much distance traveled by the person? That is 100 plus 30. Okay, so this is called distance. This is called distance. So the total distance traveled by a person, it is 130. It is 130. Clear? See, A to B. So a person is traveling from A to B, this is 100, and return to the C, which is 30. So the total distance equal to 100 plus 30, because the person traveled 130, so total 130 kilometer. Understood? But in this case, what happened? Suppose I am here and I am observing you, that how much distance you have traveled. So I observe from you here, and after some time I will come again. So I see what? That you are still in this position. You are still in this position. Clear? See, suppose you are at home. Okay, the mama is keep their eyes on you. Clear? Now you will go. Mama say after 1 hour I will require that you will be stay here. Okay, but during this 1 hour you will go from A to B and come to the C. So mama will observe what? Mama will observe that you only travel from point A to C only, because in case of mama, she will know that you hadn't traveled from A to B. You just traveled from A to C. So means what? So this is your initial position. And this C will be your final position. Understood? Listen. A to B, and you move A from B and C here. So see, for mama, this is your initial state position. Okay, and C is what? Your final position. Okay, so according to your mama, you had traveled only this much distance. So this is 30. So this much distance is 70. So according to your mama, you had traveled only 70 kilometers. So the displacement value, done by you, is only 70 kilometer. Understood? So what is the difference between distance and displacement? So distance is deal with the total traveling, and the displacements are related to the distance between initial position and final position. Means initially you are where and finally you are where. Okay, it will deal with the initial and final position only. Clear? So let's understood about the definition, terms of definition. Clear? See, this is one example is given. See, this is the shortest path. A person A travels from A to point B. So in actually case, what happened? The total distance travel is higher, but we can see the direct path, because we all see that you will travel from A to B here. So this is the shortest distance. So this is called displacement. So see, the actual path means the actual distance, the actual length traveled by an object during the journey from initial position to final position is called distance. But distance is a scalar quantity which requires only magnitude, no direction, as I already told you. Fine. So see that example, Ramesh traveled 65 kilometers. Okay, now displacement is a vector quantity. Why? Because it requires both magnitude and direction. Explanation why? See, okay, displacement can be 0. Understood? See sir, how displacement can be 0? Suppose you are traveling from A to B. You have to complete a distance from A to B in 1 hour. Okay, but after 2 hours, I'd see what? That you travel A to B in 1 hour, and after 1 hour you travel B to A. So you are here. So after 2 hours, if I will observe you, I will see what? That you are still in position number A. So means what? You didn't had any distance. So you didn't have completed any displacement. So your displacement value is 0. So this is how the displacement can be 0. But the distance cannot be 0, because in this case what happened, you know that na, you had completed this 100 kilometer and you had completed this 100 kilometer, so you had completed 200 kilometer. Clear? So this is the basic difference between distance and displacement. Understood? Now see, so there are some difference. So distance is what? The actual path. Okay, focus on the actual path. The actual path is traveled by an object, that is called distance. Fine. And distance is a scalar quantity and this is a vector quantity, and this is the shortest length between initial position and final position, because the displacement deal with the initial position and final position of the object. Okay, see, it can positive because the distance is what? 100, then again 100, then if you are returning it will also count 100, 100. Fine. So it will always positive, cannot be 0, but the displacement can be 0. How? Because suppose you are traveling from here to here and again you are here to here, so you are at initial position and this is your only final position. So displacement can be positive, can be negative, can be 0 also. Clear? And the distance can be equal to the displacement. Suppose in this case a person travel from A to B. See, so in this case distance is this, displacement is also this. Clear? But suppose a person travel from A to B and B to C. So in this case what happened? The total distance is what? AB plus BC, and the total displacement is what? Only AC. So distance must be greater and displacement must be small. Clear? So displacement can be equal to the distance but lesser than the distance. Okay, I already taught you now in the second case. Suppose a person travel from A to B and B to C. So in this case distance is what? Distance is what? Distance is A to B and B to C. It will contain AB plus BC, but in this case the final position is there and initial position is there. So distance between initial and final position, that is called displacement. The displacement is only AC. So in this case what happened? This distance is bigger and AC is smaller. Okay, so in the third point they mentioned displacement can be equal to the distance or lesser than the distance. Fine. So from now onwards this is enough for you. So in the next lecture, in the part 2 of this lecture, we will deal about the numericals related to distance and displacement. Okay, how to justify the distance and displacement over there. Clear? So goodbye students.